Will are the older, we the grown-ups here, if you will, and you guys are up and coming. Y'all are the young males, we the older males. And so I want to pose a question, and Will, follow me on it with the young people. How old are you again?
17.
And
19.
19. Do you think you gonna live past 25?
I hope so.
I know so. I'm blessed by the best.
So you will. And we'll, like, when I was coming up, 92, that was the most dangerous year in Chicago. We lost more people than any other time on record. And I didn't see it. You know, for me, the Navy took me away to get me out the area and whatnot. But are there enough black male role models for you guys that you see that you can say, okay, they got their act together, I want to do and be like them?
Honestly, no.
Talk about it since you don't have much.
To me, I don't think it is. Cause most is either like most black people, they end up dead or in jail. So it's basically no one out here you can really talk to about certain things. Like me personally, I grew up without a father, so only person I could depend on was my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother, she died in '99, so the only person I'm left with now is my mother. And
so no male, you don't have no male that you can talk to about sex, about
God, bro.
God.
And he lives right now. He lives in Joliet. He comes down like every weekend or every other weekend, and I talk to him over the phone or whatever. And he just keep me positive, keep me cool, keep me out of trouble.
What about you, man?
Fortunately for me, I know my father, so you know if I need somebody to talk to, then you know usually he's the one that's there. So.
But do you have a black role model? Was the original question. Do you know, somebody you could look to and say, I want to be like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Well, speaking of celebrities, and I'd have to say Obama. There's just so many parts in that way. But if you talk about real life, then I say probably my oldest brother, because even though he's a workhorse, but he still takes care of himself. He still gets things that he wants. He's not the type of person that I wish I would have this, because financially he can afford it. So it's not wish, but it's what I have because I can afford it.
Sex. Can we go there? I don't know the numbers, but do you see young black females having a lot of sex or no?
Me, I can't really tell because I don't really be outside. I'm an in the house person. I like staying. I be in the house, be with family. If I'm not in the house, I'm either at school or out. So my internet is not working right now. I try to go to the library sometimes, try to fill in a couple applications, or I go to certain places, put in applications. But
so you don't hear it. So it's not happening, or it is?
Well, it is in certain areas, like it is in certain areas, but where I am, it is sometimes, but then it's like it's switched up every day.
What age? What's the youngest and the oldest?
I know Pierce. I know y'all talking.
Yeah, right.
What do y'all be saying? What's the conversation? We don't want to put you on the spot, but
you don't have to say their name.
Like I said a while ago, I usually am in the house. I'm not like the outside person like I used to be. I just
so you don't know.
Too much trouble. Yeah.
What about you, Jess?
You know, is there something that's you talk about like you talk about eating, you eat food, and that's how you talk about sex in our community. And it's a lot of girls, I feel like, we discussed this in the past, I feel like just the girls out there that give themselves up just to be giving it up, I think they're looking for that father figure that they don't have. And that, once again, it goes back to not having a role model in your life, whether you're a female or a male. I think that's important for the women especially, because they look for that love their father would give them and all the guys that they want to have sexual relationships with.
Is it a problem though? Do you see it or you just hear about this?
Yeah, it is a problem, because when they have sex, a lot of females that are doing it, they don't wear protection, and that's when the AIDS statistic come in and all those other things come in.
So it's the girl fault? Is the guy fault? I mean, who's to blame?
Well, I wouldn't blame the guy. I think it probably would be 50-50, because if the girl gets AIDS, then there's a chance that the guy can get it as well. So I think it's 50-50.
Listen, feel free to chime in now if you want. So you saying, all right, but when I was at Dunbar High School in 91, 92, that area, and the girls was hot to say the least. You know what I mean? That's my perception of what it was, and it wasn't hard to be out there with multiple girls if you wanted to or not. And I think at least we was conscious. You had KRS one time I wrap it up condom, but it's like now it's like to me the girls are that much they can care less that much more.
How did they get to that point? What do you think it is?
I mean, I wanted to hear from the young people. What happened that you guys appear to be desensitized to the point where, like, whatever, I'm just living for the moment.
Probably, I just think it's partially what you see on TV. It's partially a little bit of everything.
We had Luke. Remember Luke?
Oh, yeah.
Luke and Miami 2 Live Crew. So we had it too.
But I mean, like, okay, but would you say that you have videos like you have now?
Oh no,
you can't compare this time to that time. It's just it's a whole different environment and a whole new things that we're presented with. So I still say that it's 50-50 because the reason of this: if the woman decides to open her legs to have sex with the male, they don't want to wrap it up, then it's partially their fault. And if the male attempts to do the same thing, then it's partially his fault too because it's a 50-50 thing. It's not rape, so it's 50-50.
I want to talk about how, what's the difference in our era versus your era? What's the difference? I mean, is it what we look at? We talked about, is it the music videos that's desensitizing our kids, the young people? What is it? I mean, because we didn't have, we had a few, but not like now. Not like now. It was,
plus, it's round the clock TV. Right. Like, TV went off and we was just coming up at 2 in the morning and it was a blank screen.
Yeah. It's like this. I feel like this. Okay, me, I don't use the word nigger with the exception of sometimes when I'm explaining stuff. But when you hear the word nigger so many times, when you're being called a bitch so many times, being a female when you call a hoe so many times, it just becomes natural. So instead of him saying you're a hoe one time and then he said so many times, eventually you just like you kind of used to it because he calls it. You hear it every day. So I just think it's like that. So your standards has been lowered, your confidence has been lowered, and from there on, then things just start falling.
How do we fix that or reverse that direction, that way of life?